Hi everyone, here we are with Metropol Parasol part 2, and in this part we are going to model the rest of the model, and this is what we have done in the first part. So for this part we are going to add the walkway here above, so you can see this here as well. We have a walk path on the roof that goes through the structures and so on, and here inside we have also the walk path as well. Okay, so let's start with this, but before that, as you see here, we have some extra content here that I have done in between, so we will go through each of them one by one. So first, let's start with the walk path here. So to begin with, I go to the top view, and I'm going to swap this image with this one because I want the walk path view from the top, so I can create it easily. So for that, I can come to the mode and view setting, and as I mentioned before, we can position the image as we want. So I'm going to position it to the downside, so like this, so that it matches with our structure that we have done. Okay, so let me just tweak a bit. Okay, now it's okay, and now I can just turn off our timber structure and begin with the walkway. So to begin, I'm going to use a spline to create a spline, and I'm creating this part. So if I may show you here, I'm going to create the outer part, so which walkway, the paths that are outside the structure, so this part. And then later I'm going to create the inside walkway as well, and then combine them together to have a single polyline. So for the outside, I'm going to make points. For that, I'm simply going to take the center of the walk path, and going to create my points like this. You don't need to be so exact, so just approximate position of the point will be okay, like this. So, and for this stage, I'm going to have a hard interpolation of the points and not a soft interpolation. So, because later on we are going to add them to a subsurface, and it will be smoothed anyway. So we don't need to make them soft as a soft points. So just clicking the points to get the direction of the path, and that's all. So okay, now I'm going to set the points to the right position. Some of them are not correct. Okay, it seems good now, but here I think we need more points, so I'm going to add more points here, and I'm going to move them so we have a better curvature here. So, and I need one more point here and here, here and here. Okay, to be sure that all points are hard interpolation, I'm going to select all left points and click on hard interpolation. Okay. So now I'm going to perspective, and I'm going to not this. I'm going to hide. Bring back our model, not the timber structure, but our subdivision before the what we have done with Voronoi fracture. So now I can just go to here and drag the spline up to something like this. Okay, and I'm going to delete the points that are extended to the roof here. So like this, and this part as well. I'm going to delete these points. No, not this one. Okay, I'm going to delete it. Now I want to project now this spline on this surface. To do that, we can simply select all the points and right click and come to project here. And here in option you can set the mode where you want it to be projected. So for me, I'm going to select the XZ plane. So this is the XZ plane, and just I come to tools and set apply. As you see here, it has been projected on the surface as we desire, but some points like this one is not where I want it to be. So now I need to set it manually, this point as well, this point as well, so that we have a better position of the points like this. Like this. And we have also one more point. Okay. This side seems to be okay. We come to the other side, and you see we have the same problem here as well. So I'm just going to drag it a bit outward like this. To get a result like this. Okay. Now, what we need now is, we don't of course need the spline, we need a path. So for that, I'm going to create a rectangle. With the width, I give it 30, and height, I give it 0. So now I'm going to sweep and put these two inside. So we get something like this, okay? And the first thing we should do here in sweep, we should deactivate the banking, because we don't need the banking here. We want something like this, okay? And the thickness is a bit too much, so I bring it up a bit, like something like this. And now what I can do, I can come here, and in details, in sweep, in details, I have now access to scale. Okay, as you see in the picture, this part have a specific width that will increases here on top. So here we have more width, and here we have less. So to get such a result, we need to play with this scale factor here. So firstly, I'm going to create, let me make it bigger. So I'm going to create a point here by holding the control key and clicking on it in the middle. So in the middle means here. So here's from here, the spline goes to here, so the middle part is here. Now I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to simply drag them down to get something like this, okay? And now we need to bring in also inward, because we want the thickness to grow from a specific location, not from the beginning, yes? So we need to drag these inward. This two as well. And this we can play with the parameter here, so it's a bit pick and tweak again. So like this, and we can work with the handles here. More points here, they need to be a bit more extended, and I think I should bring this up to have better thickness. And of course here in spline I'm going from adaptive to natural, or no, it's not good, to uniform, and increase the numbers so we have an even distribution of the lines on the surface. So here come again, and maybe I think this should go down at this point. I can play with these values. And you need to put some time to get the result you want. So I can just bring this down as well, so to have a better look. And this one also can thicken it a bit here, here. So maybe I need to narrow this one and this one as well. Okay. Okay, I think it's now good enough. Okay, now we have done this part, and I'm going to make a copy of it. So I have access to this part. I name it the walkway. This as well, walkway. And I'm going to select this, right click and connect object and delete. And I'm going to get rid of these tags, we don't need them. So now we have polygon made out of this sweep. So first thing, I'm going to select all and optimize them for the optimization. And now we need to add inside part. For that, what I'm doing, firstly I'm going to hide this subdivision surface again, and also a walkway. We need to add this inside part. So this is a walkway here as well. To do that, I'm going to use a polygon, and I'm going to position it into the right place and rescale it like this. And now I'm going to make it editable, selecting the line mode and just drag by holding the control key and dragging it out. I can do a copy of this, so like this, and I'm adjusting it to the right position. I'm doing this again, a bit of rotation here, again, rotation, again, rotation, this, scale, okay, now I'm going to point mode and selecting these points. Going to point mode and bring it this part here and this one as well, something like this. Now I can select this line and go further. This is the process we'll do to get the form at the end. It's not a big deal. Just copy rotation and rescaling the line, and at the end we have something like this. As you see, we have done this part now. If I bring it up, we will go piece by piece to do that. But to prevent the time consumption for the tutorial, I have made this before, so we don't need to do that. I just wanted to show you how the process is. So I'm going to delete this one, okay, and I'm going to activate the one I made. So it is, I think, in the walk path here and walkway inside. I bring it out. I'm going to unhide it, and it is here. Okay, sorry, this is it. Now what I need to do, I need to bring it to the right position. So I'm activating now our timber structure here and our walkway, and I name it outside, and I'm adding this one to it as well. So I can top view to see it better, like this. Okay, now I bring it up. Let's see it for the other side. Okay. Now I can just come to the line mode, select the lines, and now I can just deactivate this structure for now. And I'm going to, firstly I'm going to make both as a simple spline, so I'm selecting both and go connect object and delete. Now we have a walkway polygon. So now I can, now that I have this line, I can just continue to adding more polygons. Can increase this a bit, this as well. And this one, I need to bring it down. I'm going to line and enable the soft selection because I want to bring this part down. So I'm going to increase it to 30, maybe 40 or 50 maybe. Yes. And now I'm dragging this down. Okay. And now what I can do, I can come. First, I deactivate the soft selection. I can come to the polygon pen and add a polygon here. And now these two are connected. We'll do the same for the other side. I'm going to top view. Let me find it. This is it. And this is this one. I'm going to continue adding polygons so that I reach the other one. Rescale it a bit. Okay. Now I can come to the here. I can select this, and again with soft selection I can so adjust the height of the polygons. Can adjust this one, and now with the polygon pen I can just add the polygon here as well. So now by point void, select A and select all the points and optimize. So we have our path, polygon. We are not done yet, so now I can just select it and drag it down a bit. Something like this. Okay. Now before we continue, I need this spline edges for later to when I want to add the guardrails. So I'm going to deactivate this one. So this is the path. It looks a bit complex, but as you have seen, it's not so difficult to create. I come to the line mode, and by pressing UL, I'm going to select the loops. Something. This is one loop. Now I can come and select edge to spline. So workplace spline 1. And I'm going now to select the other one. The same process, edge to spline, and name it spline 2. Now again, I need the inside one here. And same process, edge to spline 3, and here as well. Edge to spline and point 4. So we have 4 splines for our guardrails. So let me bring them out and put them in a null. And I name it the guardrail spline. Okay. Now I have this surface selected. I can just come by holding the Alt key, and I can put it in a cloth surface. So I can give it a specific thickness. I don't want to add subdivision surfaces, so 0. But here I can add the thickness to the structure. So as you see, with this method, we have everywhere the same thickness on our point. But here you see we have something is not correct here. So let's see what's the problem. sorry. Yes, as you see here, the normal is not correct here. When such a thing happens, you see here, this is probably because the normal of some first surface is not correct. So I can select it and come here, reverse normals. And now when I click it, you see it's okay now. Let's check out if we have the same problem any other way, anywhere else. So I'm selecting all the points, and as you see, we have more points here with the same problem. So I can do the same process to get the right normal alignment. So reverse normal as well again, and here as well, reverse normals, selecting all. Yeah, there's some point that has happened. It's not a big deal, so you can just manage to correct it. Reverse normals. Let me, by the walkway selected, solo it out so to see it better. So as you see now, all the normals are correct. So I come out of solo mode and I activate the class. Now we have a clean class, all the surface. But I want to add it also in the subsurface here to get a smoother edges. Let's do it later. So maybe we don't need it at all. So now what I need to make the guardrails for this path. So before that I have let me clear this. Or walkway path, and I'm putting it in a null walkway. I put this inside so to be organized, and this as well. Now, why I have created before, let me see here. I can put this down here. The walkway inside the guardrail. This one. I bring it out so that I can see it. I'm selecting it, I'm stalling out. And as you see, I have created, I'm deactivated for now, the cloner. Sorry. And as you see here, I have created this model for our railguard. It's nothing so fancy. It was a cylinder. I just took out the other surfaces. I took this one and I extruded it back out, and I put it in a cloner. And the cloner, the distance is 2.5, and there's 500 of them, and it's in a linear mode. So what I need to do now is to align this cloner along our surface here. So our surfaces here. So to do that, firstly, I'm going to name it cloner guardrail 01, because we have more guardrails, it's not just one. And now I'm put it in a null. So same name, guardrail 01. I put inside. I don't want any layer, and I can come to here where our splines are. Okay, now here by selecting this null, I can add a deformer here. So spline wrap. Okay, and it says what it should be used for that matter. So firstly, I'm going to add this spline one. And as you see, as I do that, we have something. We are close to what we want. Okay, but the orientation is not correct, so I can go from x to minus x. Now looks better. But you see here, it's not in the right position. So the problem is that I need to later, or let's do that now. Bring it all the splines up to the right position. So let me see where it is. Or let's go to the other view mode and, for example, the front, and position it like this. Okay. But as you see, the lines have a bit of rotation here, as you see here, especially. So to prevent that, I can select this one, I make a copy of it, I put it in spline 1, and I name it rail. I come again to my spline wrap and add this one as a rail. And now I can select the rail and bring it up. And as I do that, you see that all the rails, guardrails are in the right position. They are all to the Y direction. They are not rotated and everything looks okay. But we need, I think, to bring it up more. So for that, I'm going to this part and I'm going to drag this a bit up like this. Okay, as you see now, we have a really great distribution of our guardrails that are along this path. So if I make sure you also inside, you have everything in the right position. So it's great. But we need to do that for the other side as well. So the same process here. Now we have guardrail 1. I'm going to create another one. I copy it and I name it guardrail 02. With the same account, just this time I'm going to change the spline wrap. So before that, let me create also this one and put it as a child and rename it spline rail as well and bring it a bit up, something like this. Okay, now I'm coming to the second spline wrap for the second guardrail, and I'm now changing the splines, so like this, and I'm going to change the spline rail as this one. And as we do that, we have also the rails in the right position on the other side as well. So this is the best way, I think, to create this walk path. But just not done. Still, we need more. We need also here, and we need also one inside. So let me show you here so you can see better. Let's go inside the structure. And as you see, we need also one here. Okay, so I come out. The same process will go on. So rail 2. This one, I make a copy, position it as a child of the spline. Spline say rail again. And for the fourth as well, rail. And I'm going to copy this. Got point 3. Come to spline wrap and add a third one and railing here. So now also in the structure we have this guardrails, but it's not okay because we need also to I select these two to bring this a bit up. As I do that, it will be okay because they are here to support the spline as a rail. So this should be positioned in the right direction so that it knows in which direction it should align the curvature and the clone. So now this is done. Okay, now go to this last one. So point 4. I come here, spline wrap, and change it with number 4 and the rail with number 4. Okay, let's see how it looks. And you see we have this here as well. But as you see here, the counts are too much because we have a smaller spline, so we need to adjust the cloner size. So I go from 500 to 300 maybe. Let's see how it looks. $400. Okay, 70. No, 40. That's too much. 45. 50. Yes, 50 is a good value, I think. Okay. Yes, okay. Let's check out the inside one as well. So we have a better distribution of the lines on both sides. To have a good feeling about it, I'm going to this one, this part. Now, as you see here, the distance between two guardrails are less than here. So let's correct that as well. I'm going to cloner and change to 500 to 400 or 350. Yes, 350 is a good value. And as you see, as simple as that, we have done the railing and the walk path here. And now I can just add these to guardrails and just put it here inside in walkway. So now we have all organized and in the right position. We have the walkway here, the guardrails are here, the path here is done, and the splines we have here. So everything is organized and clean and great. So now that I've done with the walkways, let's add some value to this, so to finish this tutorial. But to do that, I'm going to now get rid of this one because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to delete it. And here we have some pillars. So let me turn this off. Okay. But first, before that, I'm added the structure here beneath it. So it's named level +1. If I may show you, this is not so difficult. This is just extrusion. If I may show you here, if I open it, we have the stairs here. They are simple cloners. For example, this one, and it is used the sub here. So if I show you here, I have created this subdivision here, and this spline, and put it in an extrude, and then I take it out from the stairs cloner here. Okay, so with the boolean we get something like this. The path is okay, and this is about the stairs. They are all the same method. Then I have the level +1. This is a simple spline, and I extrude it up. And we have the level +1 side. This is these sides. This is also the same. This is the spline, and I have used for the spline. I have before I make it editable. I have used a sweep to sweep it, and then I put it in a subsurface, and I made it editable, and I made it editable, and put it on the subsurface here, as you see. So if I deactivated it, you see that how it looks. I have added some cuts here so that we have a good curvature, and we have something like this. And what I have done, this is and I have these curtain walls here in the beneath here. So they are the curtain walls that are used for glass for the stores that are here actually. But now this is done. Then we have the fences. We have some fences here. I have used the same method as a walkway, so I have created spline along the path, and I projected on the XZ plane. They are positioned here, right position, and I made one of these and cloned it and used the spline wrap, as you see here, to wrap the clone along these spline. But we'll do that also. I have just left one to do this together with you guys. So don't worry about it. So I have this fence, this one, as you see, I come to the point mode and I have all the points selected. Now I can come to the project tool, select plane and apply. Okay, before that, sorry, I need to turn off the timber structure and the walkway. So the only things that is left is this one, is the plane and the structure here. So now the same process, clicking the right clicking, and now go to project and apply. And then as I do that, you see that all the points are projected to the right place on the XZ plane. Okay, now the only thing that is left is to do the same process here that you have done. So first I'm going to make a copy of it. I put it as a child and name it Ray. And I drag it a bit up. It serves as a railing. So now I have this cloner. Let's firstly create this null here. And I name it fence 01. And I'm going to drag this wrap here as well. Oh no, let's do that here, a new one. So by selecting the fence and holding the shift key, I'm going to add the spline wrap here. Okay, and I'm going to copy this here as well. Let's delete this. So again, I'm going to, by selecting the fence here, I'm going to add the spline wrap. I put it as a wrong again. By selecting fence and shift key, I'm going to adding a spline wrap here. And be sure that before that you should take this one out. This. Okay. And now I'm going to create another null, fence 1, fence 01, because I want to have these splines also inside, but I cannot put it inside this one, because this will affect the spline wrap, and the spline wrap should just affect the cloner, not the splines. Because of that, I have created another null and put all these two in this. So we have, at the end, we have a null that contains our guardrail, but the spline wrap affects just the cloner here. Okay. Now what I need to define what spline I need to use. I use this one. As I drag it, you see, we get something like this, but the orientation is not correct. I need to add the railing as well. And as I put that, you see that automatically it corrects all the points and lines. And now I can just drag this a bit up to have it in the right position. So great. So now we have done also the railing, so you know how the process is. It was just simple. Look how clean it is wrapped along the spline. How the curvature looks. Okay. This was a great trick that I used so much time to learn how to do that. I hope that you guys enjoy it and use it for later on for your projects. So now let's continue. I have also some additional things here. Let me turn on the structure, and I have a null here with C pillar. So activate it, and as you see here, I have the covering here. Yes, let's show you how they look like. Okay, I have done all except one that sorry, I have them all except for one that I want to do that with you guys, so you know how the process is. So I come to C pillar here, and I have one here. Okay, first of all, let's see what is done with the others. I have I have this polygon, put it in the subsurface scattering, and then I give it thickness, and they have the inner part the same as outer part. You see, you have inner part, and we have one covering outside. Okay, so the process is the same. I'm selecting this one and put it in a null and rename it C pillar point 3. Okay, now which one is it? It is this one. Okay, let's adjust it. I give it more radius here. Okay, 20, maybe 21 and a half. Let's turn around and see. No, I think 22 is a good value. We need to position it in the right place so the thickness is all the same, all sides, as here as well. Okay, now I can come to the cap here. I can deactivate the cap. I don't need the cap here. And I'm going to point mode. Before that, I'm going to make it editable and make a copy of it. I name it inner, and I name it this one outer. So let's turn this one off. I just work with this one, and I'm going to point mode. I'm selecting these 2 points, and move tool. I'm going to enable the soft selection. I'm reducing the radius, and I'm dragging this down like this. And I'm doing the same here. I select these 2 points and drag them on. We have something like this. Okay, now I put this one in a subsurface. Okay, as we have this clean one, and I put the subsurface in a cloud object. In cloud, we don't need any subdivision, but we need thickness, so I give it a value -4. Okay, this looks okay. Now for the inner part, I'm going to now, for the outer part, I'm going to unhide it. So, and I'm going to increase the radius. And I'm going to rescale it. Bring it down a bit. Okay, and I'm doing the same process. So I'm selecting this one, and let me select the other side as well. I'm bringing this a bit up. I'm selecting this one and bring it a bit down. So now let me solo it out. Okay, I'm going to surface UL. I'm going to select these, and I'm going just to delete this. Don't need them. And here I need to add more points. Let me unhide this. Or UL, select this one. I'll come to line mode, and with MO I'm going to drag it up like this. And I'm going to add some points here. Well, let's drag this and use this one as well. So I'm going to point mode, and I'm adjusting these points. Like this. Okay. It doesn't need to be really precise, you can, because I just want to add this curvature here. So you will see soon what I mean with that. Okay. Now I'm going to make another loop here, adding more loops. Let's go solid it out and see how it looks. Okay. And I'm going to UL, select this one, I'm in line mode of course, and I'm going to move it up. But let's reduce this one, 25, and move these up. Okay. Sorry now. Let's adjust it a bit. Okay. Let's bring it here. Now, what I want to do, I want to go to scale. And as you see here, the surface, I'm going to reduce it to 20. And rescale it in XZ direction. It doesn't look good at all because of the distribution of the points. So I need to go to solid it out and look at here. We have some issues here. So let me firstly deactivate this one and adjust this point as well. So they are good distributed. I bring this one down, this one down. Let's check out the other ones. Let's see here. This should come up a bit. Selected. Now try to use this one. Yes, now it looks much better. Okay. And select this, bring it up. Now, this looks okay. What is now left to do is to put it in a subsurface to get a clean and smooth edges and put them at last in a cloth surface. I named this one inner and named this one outer. And the thickness, I think I give it -3 and I don't need any subdivisions. Okay. And of course I need to bring it down a bit. Or I put it here and I bring this one a bit up. This is also possible. So now the carving is also done. And as you see, we have covered all the aspects of this project. We have the guardrails, we have this walk paths, we have these pillars and the fences and so on. And in this stage, we are done with the tutorial. I hope that you have learned a lot, and please put your suggestion and what your idea and what you think about it in the comments, and this will help us to make better tutorials in the future. Please subscribe to our channel to get informed about our new future tutorials and stuff we put here, and like the tutorial if you liked it, or dislike if you didn't like it. That will support us and help us to create better tutorials in the future for you guys. And let me bring this down also a bit. Yes, like this. Okay, and I wish you all a good day, and I hope that you liked our tutorial. See you soon in the next tutorials, and goodbye.